just somebody longing for someone to hold me. It could be anybody, but you chose.
Good morning, guys, and welcome back to another Sunday meal prep. I am super excited that you are joining me today. This is going to be my first big prep for the new year. If you are starting out on a weight loss journey, I think that meal prepping is a great way to go. So if that's something that you are interested in, then go ahead and click that subscribe button down below and like this video if you like it, and share it with your friends. Help get the word out there. Also follow me over on Instagram. I will leave my Instagram handle for you here on the screen, and I also have a really great Facebook group where you can get a lot of support, a lot of tips, stuff like that. It is called Finding Our Way. This is the icon to that group, and there is a direct link down in the description box. A little bit about myself. If you are new to my channel, I am 47 years old. I just had a birthday, and I have been doing WW for 2.5 years or so now. It's just kind of became mine and my husband's lifestyle, and we pretty much prep our whole meals. We prep all of our food for the upcoming week on Sundays and have it Sunday night through Friday night. So I basically make 2 different meals, 6 servings of each, and then sometimes I will prep things for lunch if I want to. This week I'm not really prepping lunches. I prep my fruit for lunch, but I'm going to have sandwiches for a couple of days anyway. I'm just going to kind of play it by ear and see how long I'm going to be working and stuff, because I am going back into the office temporarily just to help out with month end, year end, whatever they need. I don't really think that's going to last more than a couple of weeks, but you never know. So we will just see where we go from here. I am going to prep a little bit of stuff for breakfast. I'm debating on trying to make some egg bites today. I didn't really look at any recipes yet, but I did buy those little silicone molds. If you saw one of my hauls, I think maybe at Tuesday morning we picked those up, so I could make those in the air fryer. I'm thinking about that, but if I don't make them this week, then I may try those next week. Because it just kind of came to me while I was in the shower. I'd already bought my groceries and everything, and I'm not sure I have everything that I need. I mean, I could just kind of put my same things in them, but we'll see once we get there. Regardless, I am going to make like my bacon for a few days and some form of my eggs that I always have for breakfast. And for our meals today, we are going to make spaghetti, and I'm going to actually have zoodles instead of noodles for mine, because I'm going to spend my points on partially my marinara sauce, and then we are also going to have the garlic rolls. We will just make regular thin spaghetti for Charlie. He will use ground beef for his spaghetti sauce. I will use the lean ground turkey for mine. So I think that my spaghetti sauce will end up to be about 3 points, and then the garlic rolls end up to be a point each, and I usually have 3 of those. I make 18 of those, and so we each get 3 each night that we have that meal. And then for another meal I am making, I think it's from the Pounddropper. It is a teriyaki chicken in the skillet with just soy sauce, some honey, some brown sugar, stuff like that. It looks pretty good with some stir-fried veggies, and then I'm going to make some rice in the rice cooker to go with that. And then for dessert, I haven't 100% decided what I'm going to do for dessert yet. We'll see once we get there. I have 2 or 3 ideas swirling around in my head, not sure which direction I'm going. Kind of depends on what I'm craving. I could do my cookies, but I have been trying to do more desserts, you know, to where Charlie will have dessert and stuff to eat as well. But we'll just see once we get to dessert time. So with all of that being said, let's just get into the video. All right, here is what Charlie has to prep today. So he's just going to dice up my 3 peppers as usual, which those are some nice pretty peppers this week. They are looking good. Slice me up these 2 little tomatoes for my sandwiches. Cut up this cantaloupe. The zucchini, he's really not going to do anything to it, but probably wash it so that it is ready to go. We will just use that little manual thing that we have to make zoodles on the nights that I have the spaghetti, and then I just heat it up in the microwave for 3 or 4 minutes, and then it is good to go. Blueberries, I will just wash in the white vinegar. And then we have some chicken. He's probably going to pull 1 more chicken breast out of the freezer, just because I feel like that's not going to be enough chicken for 6 portions. It's 0 points anyway, so I want to try to bulk that meal up a little bit. So he will dice up the 4 chicken breasts, and then I have the 2 pineapples that he will cut up to get ready for my fruit bowls. So this week is kind of nostalgic, kind of going back to the basics, prepping my fruit bowls and everything. I do like having the fruit pre-prepped, so I may continue to do this even once I'm not like going in to help out at work anymore, because I think this is probably only going to last for a couple of weeks. We'll see. But it is helpful just to be able to reach in there and grab a container of fruit and have it ready. And I feel like it stays fresher for some reason being portioned out instead of all of it being in a container together. So we may just continue on doing our fruit, or my fruit, just like normal. Charlie really doesn't eat it. Sometimes he'll eat some pineapple or put it on his pizzas. But this is his prep, and we will roll into it now.
That's something, baby, that I can go without, just like a poison in me. You're all that I'm about. Loving the highs, don't mind the lows. It's getting out of my control. I want that something, baby, 'cause I can go without. Mama used to tell me love ain't right if it ain't easy, but I'm in too deep to walk away from you. Papa used to tell me love should never drive you crazy, but I lose my mind if you don't get his soothe. I'm addicted to your love, to your love, your love. I'm never gonna get enough. I'm a sucker for your love, for your love, your love. I'm never gonna get enough. You can end it, say it's over, but I'm never going sober. I'm addicted to your love, to your love, your love. I'm never gonna get enough of your love. I want your love. I need your love, 'cause I'm never gonna get enough. Can't say I'm hurting, baby, but I don't feel too good. It's like I'm burning lately when you're not in my blood. Loving the highs, don't mind the lows. It's getting out of my control. I need your loving, baby. It's all I'm thinking of. Mama used to tell me love ain't right if it ain't easy, but I'm in too deep to walk away from you. Papa used to tell me love should never drive you crazy, but I lose my mind if you don't get his soothe. I'm addicted to your love, to your love, your love. I'm never gonna get enough. I'm a sucker for your love, for your love, your love. I'm never gonna get enough. You can end it, say it's over, but I'm never going sober. I'm addicted to your love, to your love, your love. I'm never gonna get enough of your love. I want your love. I need your love, 'cause I'm never gonna get enough of your love. I want your love. I need your love, 'cause I'm never gonna get enough. Mama used to tell me love ain't right if it ain't easy, but I'm in too deep to walk away from you. Papa used to tell me love should never drive you crazy, but I lose my mind if you don't get his soothe. I'm addicted to your love, to your love, your love. I'm never gonna get enough. I'm a sucker for your love, for your love, your love. I'm never gonna get enough. You can end it.
Alright guys, so I have my fruit here. I have blueberries, cantaloupe, and pineapple. The cantaloupe and pineapple is not very tasty this week, so I'm hoping that it will make it through the week. It really just doesn't have that much flavor, but we will just see. I'm just going to make up one container, and then I will show you the rest of the containers at the end, because I know y'all seen me make up the fruit many times over and over again. So we are just going to do pineapple on one end, cantaloupe on the other, and basically a handful of blueberries in there as well. So that's what one of my fruit bowls is going to look like. Again, fruit is 0 points for me, so I'm going to make all of these up, and then I'm also going to make little containers of yogurt to dip it in. So I'll be right back and show you the finished product. Alrighty, here are my completed fruit bowls, and then I have 7 containers of yogurt to go with them each day. This is the tomato that Charlie sliced for my sandwiches this week, and then of course my diced peppers per usual. So I'm going to get this put away, and then we're going to get started working on our meals. Alright, we are ready to get started on this easy teriyaki chicken and rice casserole. This is from the Pounddropper. And it seems fairly easy. We are basically going to make a sauce on the stove and then pour it over the diced chicken, which I have ready in this casserole dish. So we are going to combine soy sauce, water, brown sugar, honey, ginger, and garlic. Bring to a boil over medium heat. While that's boiling, we are going to combine the cornstarch and 2 tablespoons of water together and whisk that. Once it comes to a boil, then we will add the cornstarch mixture to the saucepan and then cook it until it starts to thicken. Then we are going to pour half of the sauce over the chicken, and then we're going to cook it. It says for 35 to 40 minutes or until cooked through. And while that's working, we also have some rice. I went ahead and put my rice. I just did my seasoned rice that I always make in the rice cooker so that it would be ready, but just any rice would do. And we are going to steam up some stir-fry vegetables, and then we will layer that on top of the casserole dish, pour the rest of the sauce over it, and cook it for another 15 or 20 minutes. So let's get started on this sauce and get this chicken in the oven so that it can start cooking, and then we will get it put together. Okay, so I have my saucepan here. We are just going to start putting everything in. So it calls for half a cup of water. We're going to go ahead and put that in so that we can measure out the soy sauce, which I forgot to get out. So we need 3/4 of a cup of soy sauce. Wow, that's exactly what I had left in that bottle. Glad I picked up a new one today. So 3/4 of a cup of soy sauce is going in. And then it says 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and we are just going to use this swerve. You can use regular brown sugar if you want to. It probably doesn't change the points that much. And it says unpacked. 1 and 2 tablespoons of brown sugar going in. Then we're going to go in with 1 tablespoon of honey. So there's 1 tablespoon of honey. Now we're going to go in with 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, which I just always like to use this that's already minced up. So 1 tablespoon of that. I'll probably keep that. I can start with that spoon. And then we need half a teaspoon of ground ginger, which I'm just going to use this ginger paste. It's kind of old. I haven't used it in a little while. Actually, this at the front I'm going to take out. So we need just half a teaspoon of this. I'm just going to guesstimate on this, and I may barely even have half a teaspoon in there. There we go, that's plenty. And then it just says to bring to a boil over medium heat. So we are just going to stir it up and let this get warmed up, and then we are going to do the cornstarch in the water and get that ready to add to it once it is to a boil. So I will be right back. Okay, so over here in this little bowl I have 2 tablespoons of cornstarch that I put in there. I'm just going to add 2 tablespoons of hot water so that it can be ready to go into the sauce, because I think the sauce is fixing to come to a boil. Let me get my hot water. So there's 1 and 2 tablespoons of hot water, and we are just going to stir this together, and then this will just thicken up the sauce. And now, as you can see, it is coming to a boil. So I'm going to go ahead and add in this cornstarch. And we are just going to mix this until it is combined and the sauce is thickened up. So I think that the sauce is thickened up pretty good. We are going to move over, and I already have the chicken. Let's see if you can see that. I already have the chicken in this dish. We are going to pour half of the sauce over the chicken, and then we will reserve the other half until later. I'm just going to leave that back there off the heat, and I'm just going to mix this around in the chicken. I just seasoned the chicken with salt and pepper, and this is going to go in the oven. It says 40 to 45 minutes, I think, and then we will layer the rice on top and the steamed vegetables, which I will go ahead and get the veggies ready, and then it will cook for another 15 or 20 minutes after. So pretty easy. Seems to take just a little bit of time for the baking in the oven. So I think that looks pretty good. So we are going in the oven and we will be back. Alright, so we are back to the chicken. I just got the chicken out of the oven. It's been cooking for about 45 minutes, so I think that it looks good and cooked through well enough. Now it just says to, I steamed the vegetables in the microwave. I just put it in this just to drain any liquid off of it. And then I have my cooked rice here. that I cooked in the rice cooker. So it says to layer the cooked vegetables and cooked rice into the casserole and then drizzle the rest of the sauce on. So when it says layer, I guess I'm going to do like a layer of each twice. But then it says to mix it up anyway. Okay, that gets the rice and veggies on. Hopefully y'all could see that. Hopefully I wasn't in the way. And now we are just going to put the rest of the sauce on, which is really thickened up. Then it says to stir to combine. So let's see how well I can do that without making a mess. And then it's going back in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. So for the rice, I just did 1.5 cups of uncooked rice. This calls for 2.5 cups of cooked rice, I think. So I probably have a little bit extra in here, but that's the way that I will track it, is with the 1.5 cups of uncooked jasmine rice that I used. So just be sure to update in your tracker whatever you use for your rice if you decide to make this. I don't think I'm doing a good job stirring. It's hot. I need to hold this. Alright, that's about as good as it's going to get stirred. We're going to go back in the oven for about 15 minutes. I just got the chicken casserole out of the oven. We are going to go ahead and divide it into the 6 portions. I think it's going to be pretty large portions. I don't know if you can tell on screen how much this is, but we will see. If I have to, then I have this little green container. I don't know if you can see that. It's a little bright. Let me see if I can turn that down a little bit. Hold, please. Okay, there you go. That's a little better. So I've just got these little green containers that have the 2 compartments. If I need to, I can just put the excess over into this side. I was going to choose one of the black bowls, and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go for this. That way they're easily able to tell them apart in the refrigerator, and we have plenty of space. So we are just going to divide this into 6 servings. I do not know what the points are on this yet. I have not plugged it in, but I know the rice is going to be 5 points per serving because I made that a bunch. It's just going to be whatever the soy sauce and stuff probably made. The you know, the little sauce that we put over the chicken and everything, the teriyaki sauce, which probably isn't going to be that many points because I substituted the swerve brown sugar. I keep dropping rice everywhere. Alrighty guys, here is the chicken teriyaki casserole. It was pretty easy to make. I did take a bite of it since I had so much of it left, a nice big spoonful just to try it out, and it tasted really good. So super excited to try this meal this week, and these are nice hearty portions. So again, I will have the link to the recipe down in the description box below, and also the link to my WW app, where you can just import it into your Weight Watchers app and you just save it to your favorites, and then you can make modifications to the recipe, because the way that I make mine, you may use different rice or whatever, so always be sure to make those changes. So anyway, moving on now. Alright, we are going to get started on basically our spaghetti sauce, and put Charlie's spaghetti on, which you need to get your spaghetti out. Say hi.
Hey.
He's so excited. So I always like for him to come make like his own taco meat or his own pasta sauce, or whatever you want to call it, spaghetti sauce, because he does make his a little different than I do. But he is going to use some ground chuck, which is nice and fatty. I think it's 20% fat. I'm going to use the 99% lean ground turkey. We are going to split this jar of the Rayo's marinara sauce. Grab my phone and see what that says. And then we will each get a thing of the diced Hunt's tomatoes that's seasoned with the garlic, oregano, and basil. And then I found this bag, which it's been sitting out de-thawing today, of leftover 0 point marinara sauce. So we're just going to split that between the 2 of us as well. So I'm just going to kind of set the black camera up over here, and we will kind of speed through this and get our spaghetti sauces made. Okay guys, so we're just gonna speed through this. We are gonna do our meats, salt and pepper, and spaghetti sauce and everything. Hang one moment. Okay, now.
You on your own now, or?
No, we're gonna mix yours up at least. I can watch it. So we just got a call. My daughter's not feeling well, and the one with the babies. So Charlie is going to actually go take her to the clinic to see what's going on. They were gonna either bring the babies over here or get one of us to take Jaylee to the doctor. So the consensus is that it would probably be best if he just went and took her, and that way the babies aren't over here, everybody's not exposed to everybody, yada yada yada. So Charlie's gonna like quickly rush through and make his sauce. The clinic's open until 7 p.m. tonight, so we've got plenty of time. Now I am using this new green pan that my mom got me for Christmas, which Charlie did tell me that you're not supposed to use sprays on it, but I'm using spray because I cannot cook with oil or butter or anything like that. So if it messes up the coating on it, so be it. But this is my first time using this skillet. So I'm just going to go in with my lean ground turkey. I got a new purplish looking spatula. I picked these up at Publix, by the way. I like the ones that are all, is that rubber or plastic? Whatever that is. But anyway, I like these. So yeah, so basically I'm going to have Charlie get his sauce together, and then he will have to leave to go take her to the doctor. I'm going to make him wear a mask and all that stuff. So I've just got my turkey in there. I'm going to move you up a little bit closer. It's a little cramped when both of us are over here. No, it's not ready for your pasta yet. We're going to salt and pepper, and then once this is brown, we will be back adding in the sauce. And again, I'm doing zoodles. I am not making pasta for myself. Well, this pan's heating up quick. So we are going to split this. So I'm going to measure out 12 ounces for me, and then Charlie will get the rest of it. This is a 24-ounce jar. Okay, so this is half of the rows or rows. I don't know how to say that. I'm going to go ahead and put that in. I'm just going to eyeball it and guesstimate on this leftover 0-point marinara sauce that I had in the freezer. So Charlie, you get the rest of this bag and the rest of this jar of Rayo's. And then I'm going to add in 1 can of the Hunt's diced tomatoes with the basil and oregano and garlic. And that will make my sauce. And then Charlie will get basically all of the same stuff for his. He is going to have to drain his ground beef though. Okay, so the water for the pasta is boiling. That is hot. Let me get a mitt. Alright, so here is Charlie's spaghetti. It's going in, and we are just going to set this little timer for 7 minutes. So for Charlie's spaghetti, what we do is just put a little oil on it, and then I will just put it in a container, and then he will just portion it out during the week as he needs it. And we will go ahead and just put our spaghetti sauces into individual bowls. Those black plastic bowls that I have, and then that way that is already portioned out. And we will just make my zoodles fresh each night that we have the spaghetti. So I'm just going to add a little bit of basil, oregano, and some Italian seasoning. It actually tastes pretty good. I just did a little taste test, so it doesn't need a whole lot. It does help just using the already pre-seasoned pasta sauce. That's one reason I like to do that. Okay, that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and finish this up. His spaghetti has just 4 minutes left on it, and then we will plate this up and this meal will be done. Super easy, quick meal to meal prep. And then Charlie will head off to see what's going on with our girl. Okay, I have our spaghetti sauces here. I am just going to plate them up. This one is mine, that one is Charlie's, and we are just going to divide these each into 3 separate containers. 3 for me, 3 for him. And then it will be portioned out, and all we have to do is warm these up on the nights that we have these spaghetti. All right, here are the completed spaghetti sauces. The 3 in the front here are Charlie's, made with the ground beef. And then here are my 3 made with the ground turkey. And then here is Charlie's spaghetti, ready to go. And then again, I have the zucchini that we will freshly zoodle on the night that we have this. So now let's make some garlic rolls. All right, we're getting ready to start on the 2 ingredient garlic rolls, which is really like 3 or 4 ingredients, but it is 1.5 cups of self-rising flour that I have here. I have 3/4 of a cup of the non-fat Chobani plain Greek yogurt, and then we are going to put in 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, and then we will top off with some garlic salt. So very easy to make, a little bit sticky. Actually, I need to take my rings off now that I'm thinking about it. And let me lay these over here and grab a spoon. I'll be right back. So we are going to put 2 tablespoons of garlic powder in. This is a 1/2 tablespoon, so we're going to do 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're just going to mix that up well. And then we will mix in the yogurt. Okay, so now we're going to go in with our 3/4 of a cup of yogurt. I don't like to use like a 1-to-1 ratio on the yogurt because then it makes it super sticky. I'm going to mix this with my spoon until it's nice and crumbly, but then we are going to go in with our hands and knead it into a nice dough ball. Okay, so that's probably about as good as it's going to get mixed with the spoon. We got to get dirty now. We're going in. Okay, we have that kneaded into a nice dough ball. Let me wash my hands. I'm going to grab a little plate. We're going to weigh this to see how much each one needs to be. Okay, so I have my scale here. I'll move it over here so you can see. I have my scale here, and it is tared out. Let's see here. We're going to put it on grams. And we'll see how much this weighs. 405 grams. So each roll is only going to be about 22 grams each is what I will shoot for, which is a little smaller than normal, which I do feel like my dough ball is a little smaller. I hope I used the right ratio of everything. Oh well, I guess we're just going to have little rolls this time, but it is fine. We will do 22 grams per roll. So I have my sheet here, and we are going to use some butter spray. I'm going to spray that, and then I'm also going to use this to spray my hands. And then I'm going to tear this out, and we are just going to take it off until it is negative 22. There we go, negative 22. So we're going to do that 18 times, well 17 more times. Okay, so there's my 18 rolls rolled out. We are going to just spray them really well with the butter spray. And then we are going to sprinkle the garlic salt right on top. You can go as heavy or as light as you want to with the garlic. Okay, now they are going in the oven, 350 degrees for 12 minutes. Then I will put them up on the top rack just for a minute or so to let them brown on top. Alrighty, we have finally finished meal prep for the day. The only thing I did not get done was the dessert, but that is okay. Since Charlie had to leave to go take my daughter to the doctor, I just kind of got a little bit more behind and just decided to scrap the idea of dessert because I didn't know what I wanted to make anyway. So regardless of dessert, I have everything else ready. So over here I have my 7 containers of fruit, my 7 containers of yogurt for the week. Here is the Pounddropper's Easy Chicken Teriyaki Casserole. which is a nice hearty portion. I think this is probably what we will eat tonight. Here is my spaghetti sauce with the ground turkey to go with my zoodles this week. Here is Charlie's with the ground beef. And he has spaghetti back there already made up. Here are the garlic rolls that we made. Those are 1 point each. And then I just went ahead and made 3 things of my breakfast. And then I will make 2 more later in the week if I need them. But overall, I have completed another successful meal prep. Okay guys, thank you so much for joining me for another meal prep. I hope that you enjoyed this prep. Again, we have 1 new meal, and then of course obviously the spaghetti and stuff is a repeat meal, but I always like to show what we are going to make each week, and so I hope that you enjoyed it. And thanks to my Jennifer's Gems that always make it to the end. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. If you haven't already, go ahead and click that subscribe button down below and like this video. It really helps support my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Love y'all.
Now